Coach and Debza, welcome to the press conference to preview the MTN 8 match against Stellenbosch. Firstly, how are the preparations?
Good day, members of the media. I think the preparations have been going so well with the team, and the team is looking forward to the game.
Thank you. Sweet and short, Coach.
I think the preparations have gone well. We had a bit of time to prepare for this match. And I think with a good bit of help within the group, we think the team is ready for the match.
Thank you, Coach. And then we'll take questions from the floor. Who will go first? There's a mic at the back. Who will go first?
Last one. Chairman.
Hi Coach, this is Manqoba here. I would like to know your periodization plan into this game, since you know how Stellenbosch plays, and how has that been for you?
Yeah, we approach any microcycle the same way. Now that we are bringing the terminology of periodization, we had a 4-day cycle to prepare for this match, which is normally our maximum that we get for any match if we've got time, because normally we play after every 2 or 3 days, but we're fortunate this time around to have a 4-day cycle, which I think everybody has adapted well. We are playing against a team that is slightly different. It's a team that reminds me a little bit of my old Golden Arrows team. Very, very dangerous off the board. It's a team that you have to always take care of the ball and make sure that whenever there are possibilities where you could have numerical superiority and punish, you try to punish or to terminate your attacks, because if you don't terminate your attacks and they spill over into counter attacks, they are very dangerous there. And then your rest defense is to be always on point, because that's where you are most likely going to be caught. It's a team that is also very strong on set pieces, more especially with De Jong in attack, and Basadine has got a very good delivery. So it's the areas that we are concerned about. And in the front three, they could easily have Mojela, they've got Titus, and they've got Phyllis, whom I think played very well against Singizi. They also have Barnes, who probably still settling into the team. So we know what is expected, and we think we are prepared for that.
Next question. There's a question at the back, and we come to the front.
Hi Coach, it's Mamelodi from SABC. We know Sundowns have pushed for greater achievement continentally, and domestically you have been able to dominate, especially in Premiership. So I just want to know, how are you going to make sure that you go back to winning cups such as MTN 8?
Yeah, it's a big one. But what I said last was, I think I was the first one to win the MTN 8. And I think again, we are also going to be the first ones to win the MTN 8 with a prize money of 10 million.
Good day, Coach. Coach, I think the last time all the new signings were up in the stands. What have you worked on in this period with them? And are you tempted to unleash maybe salaries that everyone wants to see, or which new signings are likely to be unleashed by Coach Manqoba? There's a joke on social media that if Besuma is finally out of your back pocket. But anyway, I just wanted to check with you, Debza, with the new contract, congratulations firstly. But does this mean that the overseas dream is done for you, or do you still have ambitions of playing abroad?
Can you repeat the question?
In terms of the new signings.
I think almost all the new signings have shown good mentality and they've been integrated well into the group. They are all looking very good. Others were pending maybe registrations, but the truth is almost everyone we have now has got a chance to play on Wednesday, and we are hopeful that they will be able to help us in one way or the other, whether as starters or as substitutes, but we are looking very good in that space.
And thank you very much. I know the dream is still alive. We still have Club World Cup, so yeah, we'll see next year.
Thank you.
Coach, I think the last time we had spoken to you, you had mentioned that Keegan Johannes had picked up a knock, if I'm not mistaken. Just how far is he from, getting into the team, and as well as Ron, and how far is he from making a return? And just to add depth on this question, just to talk about how it feels to sign the new contract. It's long term. I think as footballers it must be nice to know that for the next 4 years we're sorted financially as well. Just how does it feel to assign this long term to your son?
For me, I'm happy to be at the club. The reason I signed the contract because I know the project of the club, and I wanted to be part of the project. So it was an easy decision for me to stay here because we still have Club World Cup, we still have CAF, still have AFL, and I still have Bafana on the side. So yeah.
With regard to Keegan, he's still out for this match because he came just after he had done an operation at Supersport. But he's very close. He's beginning to train in the pitch now. We are hoping that probably in the next few weeks he will start competitive training. Ronwin is also very close. He's now off the physios. He's now with our biokineticists. So when he's there, it's just a matter of time before he comes for full training. And we are hoping that probably, if God is with us in the second round of the semi-final, maybe he might be there.
Coach Mazola from SABC. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think a few years ago you were one of the coaches that warned about the obvious trajectory of Stellies as a team. But do you think that has changed given that in that time since your comment they lost a lot of their key players, obviously including Mngqithi to Sundowns? Do you expect them, first of all, in this MTN fixture to be different and also throughout the season to not give you as much of a challenge in the league games that have to follow?
To be honest, I think they've grown in leaps and bounds as a team. One anticipated that they will do very well, and one was proven right in that. But at this stage, I think as a team, they've really grown in leaps and bounds, probably even in creating a nice pipeline for their team in terms of recruitment. Because when you see a player like Mojela in their team, then you already know they anticipated that if they were to lose some of their key players, it will be important. When they also brought in a player like Barnes, you know, they are a team that understands itself, and they always want to make sure they are strong in that space. And defensively, they have not really lost much except the captain, but they've got Jugans who is also very good in that space, and already is a player that we all know what he's capable of. Personally, I don't think they have lost that much, but if they were to lose probably the same number of players, maybe 2-3 seasons in a row, that's when problems might start, because I think this is how it even happened at Maritzburg, where they did very well, but when they started to get used to this thing of selling 3-4 players per season, it starts to create problems in the long run. But at the moment, I think they are still in a very good space.
Good day, Coach. I'm from Mawafem. Coach, I just want to understand the importance of drawing first plan. We do know that second leg lies ahead with the weekend, but the importance of drawing first plan and winning the first leg.
Personally, I always think every match you play, you should try to fight to win it. Regardless whether it's the first half of the semi-finals or it's the second half, but you must always try to play any football match with a mentality to win it. And I think this group has done well from the last 4 matches of pre-season and the few friendlies that we have played. They have always won every match, and that is the mentality that I always want the team to have. And as to whether we win this one or we win the next one, for me it's neither here nor there. You must always try to win every match that is in front of you, and that puts you in a better position on the team.
Thank you, Coach. Very level also for the SABC here. I just want to talk about going to the opening game against Polokwane. We were spoken about the different approach coming into the season, and we saw the chances that were in abundance. Maybe with a better conversion rate, especially the first half, things could have been different. How has it been from that opening game in between now in terms of working on addressing this? And also maybe just the progress on how the team is working towards this new approach that the technical team is coming with. And maybe in terms of, I think I was saying this to Shishi previously, that how you are playing now, I'm taking it back to Afana, especially after the opening game and after the AFCON. Are you seeing some similarities? In fact, after Mali, the AFCON, how you're playing, are you seeing some similarities in how you're playing at Afana and how you are approaching things now?
To be honest, I think the work is good. There's a lot of progression in how the team is adapting. Bit unfortunate not to get a confidence booster in the game against Stellenbosch, because had we scored maybe 3 of the 24 chances that we got, maybe this could have been a different story. But the fact that we ended up winning a game with an own goal, to someone who does not watch football attentively, it says it was really tough for us. But the truth of the matter is, we nearly gave it away. But honestly speaking, I think the boys played very well for the better part of the first half. And after not scoring the chances that we got, then we started to dig deeper into anxiety and desperation and a worry that will this thing work or not. And when you start to do that, because you must remember we are still in a forming stage in terms of the growth of our team dynamics. We are not yet at the stage where everything has normed and we are ready to start to perform. So at that stage there is always an element of doubt and being unsure, but I think the players are beginning to understand that one thing that they are going to benefit from our approach is that they are going to create a lot of chances. And that is what we pride ourselves with. We may concede, there is nothing that says in football you should not concede, but we will try our best to create more chances than the opponent, and that is very important in how I view football, because you want to give yourself a better chance to win matches than to end up fighting very hard only in the last 45 to try and win the match that you could have easily wrapped earlier.
Of course there's similarities, because I remember like the first half we had so many chances against Mali and we didn't convert the chances. And then the second half they came and then they scored, and the same happened to us, and I think we played well in the first half. We created so many chances, and the second half actually we were losing a little bit of energy, and also we were motivated that we were thinking that they are now into the game because we couldn't score our chances. So I think if we can convert our chances in the first half, and the games will get easier for us.
After Njabulu, we'll have the last 3 questions because we've got another 2 players who will come through for this.
Njabulu, Produce 24. My question is for you, Coach. When the club is known for the detailed work it does in terms of scouting players and what is it that they bring to the team, I just wanted to ask, how much work does the club put in terms of the players' behavior sort of off the field, and what influence does that in terms of determining whether you sign them or not? Because when the club signed Lodge, it was after being convicted of domestic violence, and with Ikram it's slightly different in that you confirm the news and then the alleged incidents happen afterwards. And in such instances that are sort of privileged in this country, what role should football be playing in terms of trying to take them?
I think I prefer not to comment on this one.
Shame within Togo and Lorenzo.
Joseph from Sports. Just to get to a see Kaulino Monomanga started Umshane and I think that but okay. The first match has highlighted a bit that it was won by an own goal. How much of it have you worked on that you get to, you get to sharpen your voice, saying that I think Ikram is cup tied, if I'm correct. How have you worked on that, and is it something that you've seen going that you can score quite a few goals, seeing that this competition is based on goals scored and it's good for charity?
To be honest, I don't think there was much to be done on the chances that we did not take in the previous match, because when you hit the upright twice from chances with a goalkeeper to beat, that could have gone either way. I kept the faith and the confidence in the team, but obviously we work very hard on our attacking schemes, making sure that the pictures that we foresee coming in the match, we create them as much as possible in training, so that when those pictures come, we are able to execute. And from what I've seen in the last few training sessions and probably the friendlies that we have played, I'm excited to go to another match and see how far we will go.
Coach, just a bit of an update on Mtuli. We did see in the game against Stellenbosch City. How far is Mtuli to Mbala?
You saw him?
I'm saying we did not see him. He was not there. How far is he in terms of the injury?
I think now he's just started with the BIOS. He has not even come back to full training because the injury was a little bit delicate in the knee. But we are hopeful that once he starts with the BIOS, it's already a sign that he's pain-free. Then maybe now it's just a matter of trying to strengthen him and make sure that he's as close as possible to the group. But we are not very concerned. We believe he'll come back as a very strong player.
Coach, just to piggyback on what Mazola said, I think I recall exactly what you said about Stellenbosch. We were talking more about their recruitment more than anything else. So saying you don't need to spend a lot of money to get quality players, but also how important is it recruiting players that fit into a system rather than recruiting a player that is on form or that is highly rated or that is offered by a agent. And we see so much amongst other rivals in the PSL, and that's kind of why they're falling behind. Whereas Stellenbosch don't spend as much as them, but they're recruiting players who fit into Steve Parker's system and getting rid of the ones who don't fit into the system.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to comment about other teams, but I think Stellenbosch has really done very well in that regard. Because first, as a team, you need to understand yourselves. And I think at Stellenbosch, probably because they are also not changing coaches a lot, so they've got a very clear playing philosophy which is working for them. And believe me, it's working for them up until a certain point. Because I remember after winning the M10 with Golden Arrows, the expectations from management and everyone start to shift. And they start to believe that now maybe the team should be in the top 4. And when they start to put that stress on the team, it starts to create problems. And I always make an example of Ranieri at Leicester City. He won the league with a lot of counter-attacks because Jamie was strong and they were strong on set pieces. And immediately after winning the league with Leicester, the expectations grew that now that we can win the league, which if you were to ask them beginning of the season, would you be happy to be in the top 8, they would have said yes. Would you be happy to be in the top 10, they would have said yes. Do you see yourself in the top 4, they would have said, not sure. But after winning the league, Ranieri lost his job because now the expectations moved. And I'm just a little bit scared that maybe Stellenbosch can go that direction of thinking now the team has matured and the expectations start to grow. A bit of that did happen even with Maritzburg United when they started to do so well and produced a lot of players and they started to shift their goalposts. And it is very important that the club, one, understands its culture and its playing concept, and that culture and the playing concept will always put them somewhere in the league, but it might not take them somewhere in the league. And once that is clear, you are happy to celebrate the excellence of doing better than what you anticipated. But when you start feeling that now we think we are in the same level with everybody else and we want to compete at that level, it becomes a big challenge because they are solely based on a counter-attacking game and they are very strong in that game. And they can only play that game for as long as teams do not respect them, for as long as teams come to them. But at a certain point, after having done so well in the league, after having won the Carling Cup, maybe teams will start to shift the goalposts and say, Stellenbosch must be respected, and now teams start to sit back. And when they start to sit back now, they must find solutions to play in front of a packed defense the same way that that other teams are trying to do against them. And that's where the scouting thing and everything will be tested. But let's just wait and see what are the expectations and what are they going to do this season. Because it's always nice after winning your first trophy to see what happens after. But to be honest, so far I think everything has gone very well, and I'm so happy for Coach Steve because I think he's doing a very good job.
Coach, can we take the last question? There's a lady with the mic.
How?
It's Women's Month, Coach.
Coach, this is a home game. We play at low altitude. How important is winning this game, especially the players and also the fans, because they will be painting the stadium.
Can you repeat?
I'm asking how important is this game, considering the fact that it's a home game.
I heard about altitude as well.
Yeah, it's low altitude because you were playing the home game.
Low?
Sorry, yes.
Any altitude is right.
Any altitude, sorry. Yes.
Playing in front of the home supporters.
Yeah, no, this is what Kacha's a little. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a very interesting match because our supporters are also eager to see, so that they can start to believe and have faith. It's also important to understand that because sometimes with a lot of changes, people must first see, then they believe, then they will have faith. Once they have faith, then you know at least you are trusted. And that is what we are driving towards. But it will be nice to play this match in front of our home crowd. But honestly speaking, if you were to ask me, I always prefer to play games like this away first and then come home after. But playing at home is a little bit tricky because of the away goal. It's a little bit tricky, but I think the club has matured in that space. We understand what is expected of us, and we will do the best we can.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.